Inside this sweet corn factory, fresh corn becomes creamy corn milk and corn starch.
The process begins with fresh sweet corn, harvested at the right stage of maturity.
One crop can feed both a beverage line and an ingredient production line. The factory must separate kernels, cobs, husks, and usable corn solids. The finished products look simple, but the process requires careful separation. This is a realistic step-by-step look at how sweet corn moves through production. Every step must protect sweetness, color, yield, and final product quality. Now let's follow the full process, from fresh corn to corn milk and starch.
The journey begins in sweet cornfields, where timing is critical.
Factories need corn with strong kernels, good sweetness, and consistent moisture. Sample checks help decide whether the crop is ready for processing. Harvesting must be fast because sweet corn loses freshness after picking.
Early sorting removes ears that are too small, damaged, or poorly filled.
The corn is loaded quickly to reduce heat buildup before transport.
From the field, the corn begins its short journey to the factory.
Ventilated handling helps protect the crop during transport. At the factory, the receiving team prepares for fast unloading. At receiving, every batch is unloaded, weighed, and inspected. Weighing helps the factory estimate beverage and starch yield.
Incoming inspection removes corn that could affect flavor or safety. Sample cutting helps confirm whether the corn is suitable for processing.
Proved corn moves from crates onto the first factory conveyor. Rejected material leaves the main line before washing begins. This first area controls the quality and rhythm of the whole plant. Washing removes field dust, soil, loose silk, and surface residue.
The wash must clean the corn without damaging the kernels.
Draining reduces surface water before husk removal.
The husk removal line exposes the kernels for inspection and cutting.
Manual finishing removes silk and defects that machines may miss.
Clean ears are now ready for kernel separation.
Husks and silk are removed from the main food stream. Cleaning prevents buildup around the wet processing area. After washing and husk removal, the corn is ready for cutting. The next stage separates the yellow kernels from the cob.
Cutting depth matters because the factory wants kernels without too much cob fiber.
Cobs are removed from the food stream after kernel cutting.
The cut kernels are checked before they enter grinding and extraction.
Optical sorting helps remove unwanted particles and uneven kernels.
At this point, the factory creates two main product paths. Byproducts are separated so the main line stays clean and efficient.
Sample checks confirm that the kernels are cut evenly.
Kernel cutting creates the base material for both corn milk and starch.
Corn milk line begins by grinding sweet kernels with water.
Grinding releases starch, flavor, natural sweetness, and corn solids.
The slurry becomes the base for creamy corn milk. Filtration removes coarse fiber while keeping a smooth corn flavor.
Beverage lines need constant attention because corn fiber can block screens.
The filtered base now moves into blending for taste and texture control. Samples are checked for color, sweetness, thickness, and mouthfeel.
Corn milk extraction turns fresh kernels into a smooth beverage base. Blending adjusts the flavor, texture, and consistency of the corn milk.
Slow mixing creates a uniform, creamy beverage base. Operators control mixing time so every batch tastes consistent.
Homogenization helps the drink stay smooth and stable.
The smoother texture is easier to bottle and more pleasant to drink. Once approved, the corn milk is ready for heat treatment.
This stage prepares the beverage for safe filling and packaging.
Pasteurization helps improve safety and shelf stability. Temperature, flow rate, and holding time are controlled closely. After heating, the beverage is cooled before filling. A buffer tank keeps the product ready for continuous bottling.
Sampling confirms the corn milk is ready for the filling line. The product now moves from processing into packaging.
Pasteurization prepares the corn milk for safe bottling.
Clean bottles are prepared before corn milk filling begins.
Each bottle receives a precise amount of creamy corn milk. Capping protects the drink immediately after filling. Inspection checks fill height, cap position, and bottle appearance. Workers still verify details that automatic systems may miss.
Finished corn milk bottles are grouped for storage and distribution.
Weight checks protect consistency across the bottling run.
The beverage line turns sweet corn kernels into bottled corn milk.
The second product line prepares cornstarch from the kernel solids.
Conditioning softens the kernels and helps separate starch from fiber.
Wet grinding breaks the kernels into a starch-rich slurry.
The factory checks whether the starch is separating cleanly.
The starch-rich stream now moves into precision separation equipment. Starch slurry preparation creates the base for white corn starch powder.
Starch separation uses water flow and density differences. The starch appears as a pale, milky suspension before drying.
Other fractions are removed, so the starch becomes cleaner. Repeated washing improves whiteness and purity.
Quality samples show how washing improves clarity and consistency.
Dewatering removes water before the starch enters drying.
The wet starch is now ready to become dry powder.
Separation turns corn slurry into a concentrated starch stream.
Drying removes moisture and turns wet starch into powder.
Hot air carries moisture away while starch powder is collected. The powder must stay clean, dry, and free of foreign particles. Factory checks texture, color, and moisture after drying.
Final sieving creates a smooth and consistent starch powder. Dust control is essential in starch powder production.
Drying and sieving turn wet starch into a finished ingredient.
The finished starch powder moves into bag filling and sealing.
Each bag is filled to a controlled weight.
Sealing and dust removal. Prepare the bags for handling.
Workers check seal quality before the bags leave the line.
Palletizing turns many small bags into organized shipping units.
Wrapped pallets stay stable during warehouse movement and transport.
The starch line completes the factory's dry ingredient product.
Quality inspection checks both corn milk and corn starch in different ways. Corn milk is checked for color, sweetness, texture, and stability.
Bottles are inspected for fill level, cap position, and appearance.
Corn starch is checked for moisture, whiteness, fineness, and purity.
Texture and particle size affect how the starch performs in food production.
Weight control protects consistency across every package.
Batch records help trace products after shipment.
Only approved products continue to final storage and distribution. Quality control connects the entire sweet corn factory. Final packaging prepares both corn products for storage and shipping. Corn milk bottles are packed for beverage distribution.
Cornstarch needs dry storage to protect powder quality.
The factory stores beverages and dry ingredients separately.
Warehouse tracking helps the factory locate each batch quickly.
Different products may require different storage conditions.
Packaging turns sweet corn production into shipment-ready goods.
Distribution sends corn milk and corn starch into different market channels. Corn milk moves toward beverage shelves and food service customers.
Corn starch moves toward food factories, bakeries, and ingredient suppliers.
From one corn harvest, the factory sends both drinks and ingredients to market.
One product reaches customers as creamy corn milk.
Another product reaches industry as corn starch powder. The same crop becomes several products because the factory separates each stream carefully. The final display shows how far one sweet corn harvest can travel.
The beverage line depends on grinding, filtering, blending, and pasteurizing.
Starch line depends on wet milling, separation, washing, drying, and sieving.
Every final product starts with separating kernels from the cob.
A realistic factory is not only production, it is also cleaning and control.
A well-designed factory keeps beverage and starch streams separate and organized.
Testing and inspection make the process reliable from batch to batch. The value comes from practical separation, not from magical transformation.
This is how a real food factory connects farm harvest with finished products. The finished goods look very different from the corn that arrived earlier.
Small details in the kernel affect both beverage texture and starch yield.
The beverage product is judged by color, texture, fill level, and cap quality. Starch product is judged by moisture, whiteness, fineness, and packaging.
The full process shows how sweet corn becomes both a drink and an ingredient. Fresh sweet corn becomes corn milk and corn starch through real factory steps.
A better factory video shows production, cleaning, testing, and control. From a common crop, the factory creates products for homes and industry.
Each new batch begins with clean equipment and organized work areas. Different products require different tests, but the same attention to detail.
Even byproducts must be separated and managed safely.
From one crop, the factory creates products for different customers and storage needs.
Warehouse discipline protects the final products after processing is complete.
The journey from field to shelf depends on timing, hygiene, and factory discipline. Every shipment carries the work of harvesting, processing, packing, and inspection.
This is how fresh sweet corn becomes creamy corn milk and corn starch.
Thank you for watching Mega Processing Tech. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment what factory we should explore next.